Y'all already see the title? Y'all already see the thumbnail? I'm not gonna waste any of y'all time, so let's get straight into it.
Incorrectly, and it's making... Good morning, John. Everyone is talking about student loans incorrectly, and it's making me frustrated, so I'm making a video about it. Some flat decontextual...
And this an older video, but I just want to see what he's talking about. I know right now people is dealing with the garnishment and stuff like that, and people trying to find ways around it and going back to school so they ain't got to pay it, or some people in default or delinquency and stuff like that. So let's just see what he's talking about in this video.
Numbers for you. There's $1.75 trillion of outstanding student debt in America, held by around 45 million students. That is roughly $39,000 of debt per student. And what you would imagine, given those numbers, and what most people do imagine, is the average college graduate headed out into the workforce with $39,000 of debt. And this is entire...
And the crazy thing about that is, I don't know how it was 2 years ago, but I think it was probably similar. It's harder than ever now for people to get jobs to even try to start paying that off within the 6 months that they're out or whatever. And the big break people just had with all these years and stuff with the whoop. Technically, it was still paused when this came out, but I think a lot of people were just taking the money and doing whatever they want with it. They wasn't throwing it towards no student loan that they was badly gonna see a dent in, even though it would have helped. They just weren't thinking like that. So that's crazy. Y'all let me know if y'all got student loans, and if y'all want to share, tell me how much you got in student loans. I go first. I got around $23,000 that I gotta pay off on student loans. So yeah.
Entirely wrong. First, let us not forget about the 35% of people who get a degree and do not have student loans. That number was a lot bigger than I expected it to be, and I think it's important to say that it exists and that those people have like a leg up on the 65% of the students who graduate with debt. Second, this won't surprise you, but you may not have noticed it. The average student debt holder didn't just graduate. They graduated a while ago, and they have either been paying down their student debt or they haven't been, in which case it's actually gone up due to interest. So the $39,000 isn't what they come out with, it's what is left after having been paid down. But even weirder, the average student graduating from a 4-year college or university has about $28,000 of student debt. So it is strange that the average student debt holder has $39,000 of student debt. What's going on here? Graduate school is mostly what's going on here. But here's the weirdest plot twist in all of this. People who take out more student loans are less likely to default on their student loans. Much less.
I think that's more so because people that continue to further their education, those are the ones that usually are more understanding of, like, I need to pay this back, or I need to make sure I get some workarounds to make sure I'm in a good position by the time that I gotta pay these student loans off or whatever, whoop-de-whoop. Let alone just the people that go to school for them 4 years to go party, do whatever. And they're not necessarily thinking about it. They weren't thinking about it when they signed them papers at first too, but sadly it's knocking people over the head top right now.
Less likely. In fact, as you take out more and more student loans, you become less and less likely to default.
I think those, like, more and more student loans, probably for like the doctors, the lawyers, people that got to go to school for almost basically a decade or more type deal.
So I guess we figured it out. Students just need to take out more student loans and everything will be better. No, something weird is going on here and we have to figure out what it is. What is the weird thing that's going on? Well, first, people with a lot of student loans tend to be doctors and lawyers. So that's one bit of this. But the bigger, more surprising, more upsetting reason that this is the case is that 40% of people with student loans dropped out without getting a degree. This is a wide...
That is tough. That is tough. Now, I did graduate. I did get my degree. I got my associates, and then I went back to school for an extra semester, and then I was done. I was like, nah, let me not continue doing this. And I didn't even understand student loans yet, so I'm glad I got out when I did. But I had got a degree in at first I got an associate's degree in kinesiology. I was at first getting out of high school thinking I was gonna be a physical therapist and stuff like that, which I was into, but as I got older, I was like, all right, but I'm glad I did get out when I did after that next semester, because I didn't realize how much student loans was building up on the back end. Whew.
Wide variety of...
I died somewhat of a bullet. I you know what I'm saying? I still caught some of it, but I know a lot of people going with 50, 100 plus, and all type of interest.
Kinds of people
that I think started back up already, because it's past May 5th, so I know a lot of people going through it. Even me, I'm just locked in doing what I gotta do.
but they are
I ain't gonna try to get around it. I'm gonna just do what I got to do, try to pay it. Ooh.
more
Now
likely
let me know what y'all got going on though, if y'all want to share.
to be Black and Hispanic. They are more likely to have gone to a high school in a low-income area. They're more likely to be older when they start college, and they're more likely to be first-generation students. And
I went to a high school in the hood. I went to high school in the hood, but I played football for another school. But that school was basically a hood too. But the one I actually went to and studied at, and you know what I'm saying, that was even more of a hood. So I was in the hood for real. It was a great experience though. It was tough at times, but it was an overall great experience. If I can talk to my 16-year-old self though, right now, part of me would like I wouldn't change nothing because I appreciate the people that I did meet and the experiences that I did have. But just thinking logically and knowing I can meet people whoop 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 whoop. I probably tell my 16-year-old self, I don't even know. I do know, but I appreciate the situation I'm in now. It just is what it is. It's just unfortunate that I didn't have an understanding of certain things at a certain time. But it's all right because I'm gonna bounce back. I hope most people do bounce back a lot. I feel like most people is just they taking alternate routes that I feel like it's gonna end up hitting them in the face in the long run because you know how life get. Life be lifing.
Loans tend to be smaller because they tend to go to cheaper schools for not as long. Loan delinquency for
facts. When I got my associate's degree from a community college.
This group is quadruple loan delinquency for people who graduated. Now, again, there are lots of reasons why people might be in bad situations.
Let me know if y'all can guess what my community college was, too. I done gave y'all a couple of hints to other videos.
With regard to their student loans, and it's often not because they didn't graduate, but this seems like a cohort that we don't talk about. And
I'm gonna pick up the rest of the stuff. Okay.
To what?
I gotta pick up the rest of the groceries I ordered.
Okay. I hope you get them out the car when you get back. I hope you get them out the car when you get back.
Okay. But I see what you got back there.
I had to buy a new pack. You want some?
I bought the other ones though.
Don't come to the camera.
I'm not trying. That's why I stayed over here because the way you were looking. I'll take one. Okay,
She just took a random one?
yeah, it's not.
Alright, let's continue the video.
Problem that we don't interface with very much. And it is a very big problem. Like, I'll say it again, 40% of people with student loans are not going to get a degree. And this all happens for predictable reasons. The biggest one being...
That's extremely sad. I could cry. Nah, dead ass. That's extremely sad. That's extremely sad.
Financial pressure. College doesn't just...
And at the same time, it's even sadder because it's 16, 17, even the super smart people, right? The 15, 16s, but you 15, 16, 17, 18, like making these decisions, bruh. Like, come on, bruh. That's...
Lost the money you're spending, but also your near-term lost income, which is vital.
But it's the name of the game. It's the name of the game, and it just is what it is.
To many people and the support that they have to give to their families. And the second biggest cause, academic disqualification, is caused by students not getting a good enough high school education, being under-supported, or overcommitted during school.
Hold on. I ain't even read all this. Financial pressure is 38%. That's the biggest reason for why people drop out of college. Poor social fit, 13%, which is the next biggest. Mental/emotional. I would have thought mental/emotional issues would have been the most, like, because you hear so much. I mean, I guess because those are the loudest people. I would have thought it'd be mental because people are always talking about not wanting to work. I know that's work and not necessarily school, but I just started feeling the same thing.
Not getting a good enough high school.
I can't see what's that one at the bottom. That's 28%. What's that? I can't see that one. Y'all let me know.
Education, being under-supported, or overcommitted during school. There are a lot of hard parts and...
Dang. So people just straight up felling out. I ain't gonna lie, I had one semester where I did kind of bad. I did do kind of bad, but the next semester, I did extremely well. I did so well the next semester that when I went off to the next college, they gave me like the best dorms that they only give like the best students either coming in from high school or coming in from another school. That's how good I did that next semester. But yeah.
Failures in higher education, but taking billions and billions of dollars per year of financed money from students who aren't going to end up with a degree.
And I couldn't be in school nowadays with AI. If I was in school right now with AI, but I'm acing they better make sure we doing everything in person because I'm on timing. I'm on timing.
Like, that's astounding, and it is infuriating to me. This is the exact problem that Crash Course and Arizona State University are trying to take on with our partnership, providing structures to help students make good decisions earlier in their higher education process so they don't end up making expensive mistakes, and also helping them learn information that they may not have been taught well in high school or may have forgot since. This is a very common outcome. At some schools, it is the most common outcome, and I do not understand why we don't talk about it more. Because the result of not talking about it is understanding the student debt crisis entirely incorrectly. When we forgive debt, 40% of the people whose debt is being forgiven are people who didn't end up with a degree. Students that didn't fail, but were failed. And on average, people who have debt and no degree have around $13,000 of debt. We need to take on the student loan crisis, and we also need to take on the dropout rate crisis. Not just
the student loan forgiveness, bro. The thing about that is they're taking all that debt off that one person, right? But it's not just being forgotten. What is happening, it is getting put, I don't know the very details, but it's just getting pushed out to the rest of America for for everybody else to pay in small percentage. It's like, okay, well, instead of you having to pay your $100,000, $150,000, we're going to disperse your $150,000 worth of debt with the interest or whatever that accumulated after they put it in collections or whatever. Or well, because it got forgave. They just spread it out over the how many people in America? Over 350 million, something like that, whatever. They'll disperse it. So, you know what I'm saying? It might not be much to each individual person, but they just spread it out to raise his taxes. But if you do that for multiple people and thousands and millions of people possibly, you know what I'm saying? You can see how that's just hurting America as a whole. As what I would think, just looking at it from a economic perspective. I could be wrong though. Let me know if y'all got a different perspective.
Just with one-time debt forgiveness, but by supporting students who are working to make their lives better. John, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Appreciate y'all for watching the video. Y'all go support what he got going on. This was an amazing video. This video was kind of old, but I had seen a little bit of it and I wanted to react to it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know if y'all want me to react to more stuff dealing with student loans, anything financial, or anything that y'all just want me to react to. Y'all can DM it to me on Instagram. That's really my main thing. I put everything in the description, like my other socials, but my Instagram is my main thing. So y'all go follow me over there if y'all can. I really appreciate it. Y'all binge watch the rest of the videos on the channel. Y'all stay blessed. I love y'all. And peace.